At the beginning of the year, Deutsche Post CEO Frank Appel told us it was going to be a good year for the delivery giant. He might be right. The group has confirmed its guidance for 2019 and 2020 after beating on the top and bottom lines with its third quarter results. The company is one of the best performing stocks on the DAX this year, with shares up over 37%. Joining us now from Bonn for his first interview of the day is the CEO of Deutsche Post, Frank Appel. Thank you so much for joining us, Frank. Great to have you with us on the show, as always. We have sort of given the positive aspect of your earnings and the outlook there, but I do remember that back in October you did give a warning that your targets on EBIT were based on cautious assumptions, and the share price took quite a hit that day. You also did have a capital markets day that caused some caution for some analysts. Have you managed to turn around that message for investors since then?
Yeah, I think we have a very strong story to tell anyway. You see that in our third quarter, which was very good. You know, our broad footprint around the world with 5 strong divisions, very good market position has really, give us stability, and even more, we have seen a record quarter, the third quarter this year. And, we are optimistic that we can deliver our targets this year and next year. So I think we are well positioned. We capture the potential of e-commerce. We continue to benefit from global trade. So we are in very good shape, and I think you can see that in our numbers.
Frank, good morning to you. It's Manis in Abu Dhabi for the day. To what extent, Frank, do you get a sense from your customers that a progressive trade deal would unleash a resurgence of business and perhaps shift your guidance? Are you dependent on a structural move in those trade negotiations to change your guidance?
So first of all, uncertainty is always not good for business around the world, and you see that. Even if the duties China and US have put up have not significant impact, it creates uncertainty for investments. And therefore, the less uncertainty we have, the better it will be for business overall. And of course, we will benefit. But our guidance is not based on that we get China-US deal done soon. Brexit is still unknown, even if it looks now more likely that we don't get a hard Brexit. So we have based our guidance on our self-help measures, our strong market positions, and of course, the benefit from e-commerce.
Yeah, and the benefit from e-commerce was one of the things that gave the earnings a lift in the last quarter, Frank. Along with the German operations, you benefited from higher German postage prices. Can you give us a sense of the situation in Germany right now, and if it would change anything for you if Germany is in a technical recession? The mail business is usually not very volatile against GDP growth anyway, because people still send out letters. And the parcel business has continued to grow very well. We have gained market share despite that we have increased prices. So we are optimistic that even if the economy in Germany slows down, we don't expect that, but if it happens, we should continue to see a good development of our own business in Germany.
Frank, we're covering the protests in Hong Kong, which in the past 48 hours look as if they have escalated quite aggressively. What can you tell me? Has there been any impact on your freight business through DHL, in anything to do with Hong Kong, anything of significance for us?
So again, uncertainties are always not good for business. We have not seen any major impact on our global operations due to many different things which are happening. That's our job, to manage the logistics supply chain for our customers, and we have done that around the world, very stable, despite that we have seen some challenges around the world in the last months.
Frank, can I ask about Streetscooter? We've been reporting that Streetscooter's in advanced talks with potential partners in Germany, but also overseas. We could perhaps surmise that investors might not want too much spending to happen on the unit expansion, and previously there were questions over you actually selling Streetscooter. I believe those questions have been put aside now by the unit CEO. What is the outlook here? How much spending will be involved in actually expanding the unit and trying to find potential partners?
Yeah, so, we have a very good product. We see that we have now deployed more than 10,000 in our own operations, and we have sold more than 2,000 or 3,000 externally. So that is a very good product. We have a biggest installed base. We want to continue to build even and grow further, but we don't want to do that on our own. That's the reason why we are looking at the moment for partners. We want to fuel the growth, but we want to don't do that ourselves alone. And we are in good discussions with potential partners.
In terms of the guidance for next year and pushing through price rises, we talk about inflation, deflation stories in the macro sense, but you're at the front end. So do you think you're going to be able to get any price increases through in the next 6 months, given the backdrop of what you're seeing globally?
We are a premium provider. We provide great quality, and I think great quality deserves a decent price as well. That's the reason why we will continue in our business to increase prices wherever possible. We have been quite successful this year. That's the reason why we are seeing a good development, and I think we have to continue to do that. If you want to buy quality, you have to expect as well that you have to pay a certain price for it, and that's our strategy, and we will continue to do that.
Thank you so much for joining us. Frank Appel, CEO of Deutsche Post. Appreciate your time and the conversation as always.